welcome back to my YouTube video. My name is Christine and here on YouTube my name is Chrissy O. So the reason for this video is, first of all, before I even jump into it, I just want to say I know I haven't posted a video last week, but because I've been so busy, and this is so sincere, I've been absolutely busy. The shops are open again in the UK, which I'm excited about. Things are opening up, so that's good. And because of my nature of work, I'm back into work, so I have to get used to juggling work, school run, and having time to do this. But I do enjoy doing it, as you know. And you guys, thank you for subscribing. Continue to subscribe, watch and share my videos, okay? And I'll keep bringing you some more interesting content such as this. So what I want to talk about today is how I lost 21 kilos. And last week I put up a video of a video of myself before and a picture of myself after. In the video I was skipping, and I just put it up because I don't know what I thought. I just put it up anyway, just to maybe even show off maybe. But then I put up the video and I thought, okay, you know what, hey, there you go. I was quite heavier when I was skipping, so I thought I'm really putting myself out there this time. So I did it anyway, and I had lots and lots of friends, family, people asking me, wow, like, Chris, what did you do? How did you? It's so funny because even when they saw me skipping, they were still asking how I lost this much weight. It's so funny because some people have pulled me up silently and said, did you do anything? Did you see a doctor? And I'm like, no, I didn't. So that's funny, but no, I did not see a doctor. And if what they meant was like, did I have any surgery? I was like, no, I didn't. And I don't have any issues with people that do that, things like that. I don't have any issues with that, but I didn't do that, you know. So as I promised most of you guys that I will put out a video talking about my experience, journey, and what exactly I do to get from a size 16 to 18 down to a size 10. I know, even when I'm saying it myself, I'm like, I can't believe I'm saying this, you know. So I'm just going to share with all of you what it is I did and how I'm here today, minus 21 kilos and feeling very confident and comfortable in myself. So without further ado, this is going to be a disclaimer. I'm going to say, you know, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not saying you should literally do exactly what I did, but I'm just going to share from my own experience, and mostly for those who asked, this is what I did, and to get the results that I have today on how I lost this much weight. Some people would say it's a short space of time because I started this whole journey October 17th to be precise. It was October 17th I started the journey. I was in Nigeria for the lockdown, and I was exercising a lot in Nigeria. I was using the Chloe Ting video, which was amazing. I was so dedicated to it for 2 months in Nigeria, and I think this was from like probably May, June and July. So maybe 2.5 months. I was so dedicated to working out, doing, you know, cardio exercises. I was skipping, I was doing the burpees, I was doing everything you can imagine. And however, before I came back to the UK, I went on a binge. I went on a rampage binge of just wanting to eat everything I wanted to eat because I didn't want to miss out. You know, the food in Nigeria is amazing. When you talk about the suya, you talk about the maza, you talk about yam, sweet potato fries, poundo and egusi, cakes. The pastry in Nigeria is amazing. Meat pie, donuts, oh my goodness. So because I grew up there, so I remember the taste and my taste buds, you know, when I go home, with everyone, you know, this is universal. If you've lived somewhere and you go home and you're having the same taste of when you were growing up, it's just amazing. I couldn't stop myself. So I just literally went on a rampage of just eating the things I wanted to eat. After the whole workout I did weigh myself on a scale when I was doing that. Actually, I just carried on faithfully doing it every morning. I used to work out, and it used to help my mind. And one thing I did as well was like I would give myself just an hour to work out. And I think I mentioned in one of my first videos about, you know, doing things differently, do what works for you. Because when people will go to the gym and spend 3 hours, 4 hours, it put me off completely. And for those that hate going to the gym, you understand what I mean, because I'm one of the people that hates going to the gym. But having a big space to work out is one thing I loved when I was back home in Nigeria, because we have this massive compound and we have the balcony. You can work out anywhere you want to, the comfort of your own home. I know some people have gardens here and stuff like that. I don't have a garden. So it was really nice. It was amazing. I did that, you know. I felt like I was seeing something. I was getting encouragement from my sister saying to me, I can see you're changing a little bit, you know, you've lost a little bit of weight here. So that was just egging me on until I was coming back to the UK, when I said to myself, I must have everything that I want, that I desire before I come back to the UK, which was the biggest mistake I made. And I went on a rampage. Like I said, I was having puff puff, meat pie, donuts, fried potato, sweet potato fries, and yam. If you know yam, it's in a family of cassava. If you don't know what cassava is, it's also in the family, I think, of potato, if I'm not wrong, you know. So I was having all of that, and I'm telling you, there was no moderation in it as well. And this is one thing you have to have in moderation. So I was doing all of that. I just went in. I went in. Turkey wings, everything. I went in. I enjoyed myself, and I thought to myself, I'm still gonna be slim. You know, them kind of delusional things that you eat a lot. You go in the mirror and you hold your stomach in, and you're going like this. That was me. That was so me. And when I came back to the UK, obviously, when I was doing my skipping and things, sometimes I'll put clips here and there on my Snapchat, and people were like, "Oh, well done," you know. So I was propagating the energy from that, thinking, "Yeah, you go, girl. You're gonna do this." And then when I came back, and you know, some people said, "Oh, you've lost a little bit of weight, not much," but they could see a little bit of transformation in me, but it wasn't a lot. And obviously for me as well, because then even though my clothes were feeling a bit loose, not so much looser, but just slightly looser, then I didn't weigh myself on the scale, so I can't even tell you like a specific result of how much I lost. But my clothes was what I could kind of tell from. But then some people looked at me and were like, oh, "I thought you were working out. Where's the result?" And that just made me feel really bad. And I thought to myself, "Oh man, you know." And that's one thing as well, as when you're doing something, you don't have to show the whole world, you know, especially when it's something that is as important as a body transformation or whatever it is. You know how it is sometimes, just do it quietly, because then when you do it quietly and you come out, you have more results to show. And so anyway, that just kind of got me in a kind of space of mind already, because I was already going through a very serious transformation in my life. And so coming back to the UK, the whole transformation, hearing that just really got me in a space. And I was like, "Oh, you know what, Chris, you've got to do something, because things are changing and you've got to be on top. You've got to do your best to be on top. You've got to deal with what you're dealing with and try your best." So I just said to myself, I said, "Okay, Chris, what am I going to do? Like, there's so many things on my plate, so many things on my pads." Look through it. I was like, right, if myself being me the way I was, you know, heavier. And I just want to say this also, if you are comfortable with the way you look and you love the way you look, I can't sit here and say anything about it, and no one should ever make anyone feel down about the way you look. You know, that's what we have, different sides of models, different sides of people in the world that God created. You know, we're all fearfully and wonderfully made, and I'm so big on that, and I totally believe it. And you carry yourself well, obviously, you love how you look, there's nothing that you want to change, then don't change. For me, I wasn't comfortable because growing up I was naturally slimmer. I was quite lean growing up, and I'd always been that size. When I was young, I was a size 6, size 8 would be the most. You know, I grew as I was growing up. In my late teens, I put on a bit of weight. I was about like a 10, 12, which, you know, it was fine for me. And I was comfortable. There was nothing about it. I didn't think about it. It was just how it was. Social media wasn't that big back then, so it was cool for me. It was cool. I really liked it. Not that I really liked it, I didn't think about it. Let me be specific. I didn't think about it as anything, so I was just myself. No one, and my family were very brutal. We were very, like, as girls, when we were like in our early 20s, we used to go out a lot, so we were very sometimes conscious about ourselves. My sister used to work out a lot, but anyway, this is just a little bit of a story time, just explaining kind of environment I grew up in. So we were quite, then afterwards, like, I would see people around me being conscious about their weight, but because I knew my body never really went out of shape, I wasn't conscious about anything to do with my body. Not that I used to show my body or things like that. It was just me. So anyways, I got married, had a baby, and after I had my baby, during my pregnancy, I wasn't even that heavy. My belly was just growing, and other parts that would grow. You know, I had hips and I was so happy about it. But then after I had my baby, I felt like I was going to lose the body weight and get my snap back, which didn't happen. So got out of the hospital, I think it was a week or so, when I went on a scale and I saw how much I weighed, and I was so shocked. I was like, wow, okay, you know, it's just been a couple of weeks. I'm going to lose the baby fat. I'm going to go back to the way I used to be. Things are going to be back to normal. My belly's going to be all right. Don't worry, girl. You're going to get it back. Time when nothing was changing. And then that's when it really started to kind of like, I would say bother me about the way I was. And now my daughter is 5, so it's taking me this long. And one thing was that although it bothered me, I wasn't mentally ready for it, because I was always going through changes, different things that were just happening, reoccurring, and it would just kind of like, it would just put a stop to focusing on me, and I would put my focus on other things else around me rather than on me. So I never really had that chance to really put that dedication in myself. So anyway, I got jobs and things like that. I just carried on. I was okay. And then I just was just getting bigger. I wasn't getting any smaller, because I would compare photos and I'll be like, oh gosh, what's happening? I'll try and insert as much pictures as I can. And obviously, if I've already put it on my thumbnail as my before and after picture, so you can see like what I used to look like. And then I lost 21 kilos, which I'm really proud of myself for doing. And I'm going to share with you guys exactly what I did to get to where I am today and maintaining where I am today. So, when it got too much for me, I felt like it altered things, insecurities. I felt like maybe if I wasn't this way, certain things wouldn't happen. Maybe, you know, this will happen. Maybe that will happen. Maybe it would be like this. Maybe it would be. So it really was something that was always at the back of my mind. And I used to compare myself, which I shouldn't. And please don't do that, because you are beautiful just the way you are. And if people don't appreciate you for how you look, then, you know, they don't deserve you, full stop. They just don't deserve you, because we're all beautiful, and it's how you carry yourself, you know, confidence. Put on your beautiful, put on your confidence, and just rock yourself. And but anyway, I was uncomfortable because I really I'm going to share something with you guys. The first time I really realized that I put on weight, before even actually after getting on the scale, was when I went out and I wore a skirt and I felt my thighs rubbing against each other, and I was like, what is this? This has never happened before. So I couldn't wait to get home. I got home and I was looking, I was like, why? Was it the way I was walking? Did my walk change? Okay, maybe because I had a baby. Is it because I'm tired? Is it because I was just questioning everything? But then when I started trying on my old clothes and I was seeing that it wasn't fitting, that's when I knew that, okay, Chris, okay. Like, they wouldn't even get past my ankle. I was really heavy, you know, and it just kind of made me feel really bad as well. I remember that day I was so sad. I was like, oh, okay. Then I'll talk myself into, all I need to do is this. All I need to do is go to the gym. And automatically, I know that going to the gym is one of the first ways people think about weight loss, you know, building muscles, but mostly weight loss, or maybe maintenance and keeping fit. But like, you know, I think it's a universal thing. I want to lose weight, I'm signing up with the gym, because I used to do that as well. I want to lose weight, I'm signing up with the gym. And I don't like going to the gym for 2 main reasons. Actually 3. One, I used to feel like I had to spend all that time at the gym, and it just interrupted my day. Maybe because I wasn't more thorough with my time and knowing what to do. And 2, just people staring at the gym. Oh God. People staring at the gym used to make me so uncomfortable. I know it's a place sometimes for guys to meet a girl, and, you know, the sexy girls and stuff. I was heavy. I didn't want to be at the gym in the first place. So even being there, and, you know, when I'm on the treadmill or doing something, or maybe burpees, and my, you know, boobs are jumping and everything is jumping, I just didn't want to be looked at. Don't stare at me. And it used to happen. So I was just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I just can't be uncomfortable where I'm going, and I'm paying money, and you're making me uncomfortable where I am. So I mean, who really can you complain to? They just look at you like, girl, then find something else to do. I wasn't really big on working out outside. Like I said, I didn't have a garden. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but anyway, I didn't have a garden. So it was just kind of like, oh, hit and miss. So, you know, go swimming and do things like that. But however, and the third reason as well I don't like going to the gym is I always used to get really hungry after the gym. And when I used to have that kind of dire feeling in my stomach, I would literally go to my favorite cafe, sit there and have latte and almond croissant. I wouldn't have 1 croissant, I'll have 2 croissants, and I'll have my latte, full fat milk, everything, and I would buy that croissant and sip on that latte. That's just a heavy combo. That combo is amazing. So I would do that, not knowing it wasn't good for me. Anyway, so it wasn't working. Going to the gym wasn't working. Working out like that wasn't working for me. Working out like that wasn't working for me. So I just thought, you know what, I don't know what to do anymore. I gave up. I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna just try my best to control what I eat. And 1 minute I'm doing a diet, the next minute I'm doing something else, because I just couldn't stop the carbs, you know, like the rice, the bread, the pasta, the pizza, the chips, those kind of things I couldn't stop because I love it, and we all know what that feels like. But and then I realized, anyway, I carried on like that. I didn't tell myself anything. I just, you know, was on this rampage of just eating what I wanted to eat. I'll pretend to myself and be like, yeah, I'm okay, but I wasn't. Anyhow, when I went to Nigeria, I started to you know, it was a lockdown, the first lockdown we had, and I just thought to myself, I was just like, girl, come on, girl, you've got to do something about this now. You know, you've got time. There's no interruptions. There's no work. Although you're going through this mental stuff and emotional stuff, you can actually do it. So I started working out. I was using Chloe Ting video, which was amazing. I was so dedicated to it for like 2 months. I was so dedicated to doing the Chloe Ting videos. I was working out probably 2.5 months. I was working out. I was loving it. I lost a bit of weight. I did not go on a scale. Just from my clothes, I could see that I lost a little bit of weight, but there was nothing, you know, so dramatic. But you could see a little bit here and there. My sister would encourage me as well and say what she's seeing. Because I was so dedicated. Every morning, I'll just go skipping, do the cardios, everything, the workout, the sit-ups, everything. I was proper doing it. But then when I was coming back to the UK, I realized that I was gonna miss everything that I used to eat in Nigeria. So I went on a rampage. I was binging, like I think I've mentioned it. I think I repeated myself if I'm not. I was binging like there was no tomorrow. And I came back to the UK and I just felt like, nah, you've got to change this. So what I did was I had to now hold back and think about it and say, okay, Chris, with what's going on around you, what can you need to have results here and there just to feel better about yourself and things that you're doing. Now things are changing. What are you going to do? And obviously, you know, why I put my weight first is because it's something that really bothered me. I didn't actually put it first. You know, I did other things and then I put it was part of my to-do list. And I said to myself, right, cool, you're going to do this. And, you know, I started to just stay away from like the biscuits, chocolates, crisps, all of that stuff, the carbs, the bad food, the donuts, the everything. You know, I call it the bad food because I know what it did to my body, you know, and I don't want to kind of like go back to those kind of things again. As time goes on, you know, there's supplements and things, but not supplements in terms of like all those kind of things. But what I mean is like you can change up rather than having, say, for instance, for me, okay, now it's summer, well, springtime, if I'm craving like those nice, refreshing Oasis drinks, I used to like them. I would have or Ribena or Vimto, the diluted ones. I would actually have watermelon. I will have fruits. I just stick with my water. And the more mature I get, the older I get, I just feel like having a daughter now and being more mature, you know, your body changes, whether you like it or not. You just begin to go through the changes of your body. Things become different. Your aches in the body, the pain in your body, all those kind of things. You feel like your knees, everything. So I was just like, you know what? So for me, those kind of things cause me to not really have like pop drinks and stuff. But anyway, I really went low on my carbs. I took away rice, pasta, bread, pizza, donuts, all those things. I just really just stopped it. And I would still eat. I do eat. And some people say, what do you eat? Do you starve yourself? No, I don't starve myself. I eat, because if I starve myself, that would be the worst way to get this. And how would I maintain it? And it's been about 7 months now. And I'm really proud of myself, because as time goes on, it becomes a lifestyle as well. And that's what again you want to achieve, that it becomes a lifestyle. So I started with the intermittent fasting. I would give myself a window to eat. And for me, I know some people will say from 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, they stop eating. But for me, it was from like 4 o'clock. From morning when I wake up, I'll have my breakfast. And, you know, I put on my video the 2 bananas and 1 egg. When I crave sweet breakfast, you know, when you have your pancakes and sausages and everything and syrup, I missed that. So I was so happy to come across that recipe. And so I even shared it on one of my YouTube videos. So please watch that video. It's really nice. If you're craving something like that again. So I started to have that. So I'll have my breakfast, and for lunch, if I craved something, I would have, obviously if I was hungry, I would have soup. But I made sure, or vegetables, I made sure it was healthy stuff I was eating. Loads of veg, protein, I'll have chicken. So it's like I went high on protein. I didn't call the diet anything. It's not Atkins diet. It's not keto diet. It's just what worked for me. Lots of water and veg, fruit, and, you know, protein, meat, fish, seafood. I love seafood. So I used to have that, so that really helped me, and I would kind of like play around with it, with what I would make. I can share some of my recipes. So for instance, okay, I talked about the 2 eggs and 1 banana pancake recipe. You can have it any time of the day, whatever you're craving. Then for lunch, sometimes I'll have my stir-fried broccoli. I would make my stir-fry with sesame seed oil, black pepper, salt, and garlic. It's amazing. It's just a very quick snack to have as a meal as well. And I'll have it with chicken or fish, salmon or any fish available. I like fish, but I don't go to the fishmongers sometimes. I just get it from, maybe like Tesco's or Lidl or wherever is close to me when I'm going home from work or something. So that's what I would have for lunch. And if I have those 2 meals a day, that's fine. But I know that I'm not going to have anything from 4 o'clock until the next day. And that gives my body time for my food to digest. And you must know your body as well, because our stomach is really small. And if you continue to feed and overeat, it starts to expand. And when it expands, you find that you eat more and you're still hungry. So it was definitely a discipline of having to have my portion control and the time I ate. And it worked for me. I had loads of water as well. I would have my coffee because I do like coffee. And for me, coffee don't make me stay up if I don't want to sleep. It's just if I want to unwind and just chill out, I have a coffee. I know it might sound weird, right? But that's what I do. So those were the kind of things I used to eat. And I had soup. And with the soup, I have butternut squash in the soup. I have carrots in the soup, chicken, and leek, nice veg I can put with it. Sometimes what's that thing, kale as well, I'll put it in there. And it was really nice. It was nice. It was hot. It was home, especially when it was cold in the winter. I looked forward to having my soups as well, because it just kept me feeling good. So rather than having potatoes, I know some people say in your diet you can't eat potato, but for me, no. All the starch and saturated fat and carbs and things like that, I just stayed away from it. And someone actually said to me, oh, for this much weight you lost, you actually you probably would need professional help. And it was funny, but I was like, look, I'm fine. And it's happened gradually. It's been, I think, 7 months, 8 months, coming to 8 months. It happened gradually. For 21 kg, you guys be the judge. Leave your comments in the comment section below if it's something that is just rapid, or if you feel like, yes, people do this in like a year and you've done it in this amount of a space of time, maybe it's not right. But I think this is where our bodies are different. Some people, like I also mentioned, I was lean growing up. I wasn't big. For when I was growing up, I was lean. I was a skinny child. So I think maybe that's probably why as well. And in terms of snacks, I would have like popcorn. I would have popcorn more, not so much more, once a while. If I'm like, I'm off the next day or I have nothing to do, I want to watch a movie with my daughter, we have movie night sometimes, I'll have popcorn. I wouldn't have a lot. Portion size is very important. And what you eat, you can't have, because it's good for you, you want to have multiple of everything, more than one. One is need, two is greed. You have to remember that as well. One is need, two is greed. So when you're eating and you're full up, let's say you've eaten the first portion, this is what happens to me. I give myself 20 minutes to half an hour to see how I feel. Say for example, if I'm having my soup and, at that moment I've had it, I have my water to drink and I just chill. If I feel, but still within that window from whatever time I wake up. I do wake up early sometimes, most times even, but like I wouldn't eat I usually wake up at 6 because I have an appointment at 6 every morning. Quite often, and when I wake up at 6, I don't eat at 6 a.m. It's too early for me to eat anyway, and I don't feel hungry. So I would say maybe about like 10:30, 11, I start to have my breakfast. So that's the time I eat, and then till 4 o'clock. And after 4, there's nothing else. I have my water. I'll be honest with you guys. I have coffee as well. I use almond milk. I was still using dairy milk, but I just realized that the dairy was causing bloats. That's when I kind of even realized what was happening, like, what was good for me and what wasn't. So then I switched to almond milk. There's so many other milks that you can have. You can have coconut milk, you can have almond milk, soya milk, oat milk. So those kind of things exist. So I just stayed away from dairy for a while. I still don't use dairy milk or dairy, milk anyway. So I do that. And I used to have things like mac and cheese. And when I crave mac and cheese, there's a recipe as well that I learned from my sister-in-law, my dear sister-in-law from Portugal. And she made cauliflower, broccoli, parboil it, take it out the boil, put it in a baking dish, put some salt and black pepper, put some cheese and cream, full fat cream. I have it once a while when I'm craving like mac and cheese. That's my substitute for mac and cheese. Quinoa is amazing. Obviously being African, we're very heavy on carbs, we're very heavy on rice, we're heavy on things like that. And most African homes, you know that we eat rice almost every day if possible. Me being Nigerian, the things like yam, I have rice, poundo, you know, gari. If you know, gari is made from cassava. It's also in the family of yam. So those things are carbs, you know, kind of, if I should say, saturate carbs, or even heavier carbs, if I should say that. So I just kind of like, I've really, or don't, in fact, don't have those things at all. I really don't miss it, because as I've gone on, it's been a lifestyle for me, and choosing what I eat and know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And this is where sometimes maybe if you want to go into this, you might want to speak to your GP, you might want to speak to a health professional so that they can tell you and help you. I was very lucky enough to walk into Holland and Barrett's because I wanted to get something for my skin, and this lady was a nutritionist, and she started to tell me about, you know, the kind of things I should eat and not eat, because she was referring to my skin initially. And she was like, you know, because of your blood type O negative, you have to stay away from things like wheat, you have to stay away from meats like lamb and duck, and those are my favorites. You know, I would choose lamb over beef, I would choose duck over chicken. But when she said that, I was like, okay, you know what, I'll just take this on board. And honestly speaking, guys, you can see the results today. I went from a size 16 to 18 to a size 10 and lost 21 kg. And it, you know, I'm very proud of myself for doing this. And I know loads of you have been asking how. This is how. Definitely the intermittent fasting, the gap between when I eat and when I don't eat anything, and this works for me. And if you can hack it, we're all different. Please, I'm not saying go do exactly what I did. This is just what I did. I'm just sharing my own experience. And as you guys will ask, what's your secret? My secret with you. So that's what I did to get to this point. And one thing is as well is that I noticed is you don't force yourself until you're ready. When I was actually mentally ready, and one thing about being ready mentally, this is going to be a little advice, is that whatever I eat, I realize is food. And this is one thing we tell ourselves, like, tell me if you haven't caught yourself in this position before, and put your comments in the comment section down below as well. You have, like, say for example, you wake up and you have a slice of bread, or maybe, and then you have banana, then maybe you have a crisp. You know, with the habits, you can get a bar of chocolate, and then someone says to you, have you eaten? Like, no, I haven't eaten all day. Basically, all I had today was like a biscuit, or I had a banana and I had cereal, or whatever the things I listed. It's food. You have to look at it like it's food, because it also counts. That's part of your calorie count. I'll be honest, I don't have a skill to weigh my calories. I don't have a skill. I'm not that kind of person. I'm very simple. But then you have to look at whatever you consume is food. And if you realize and you say to yourself, I've eaten this already, the mind works with the body. You know, it's all in sync with the body. You can't eat that and say you haven't eaten and give yourself excuse to have all that food. And you know, 1 is need, 2 is greed, and it's moments on the lips, inches on the hips, because that bar of chocolate you've had, that toast you've had, the crisp you've had, it's all food, you know, and it's doing something to your body already. It's already working in your system, whether for good or bad. It could quench the hunger for now, you know, that's the moments on the lips, but it's inches on the hips, and then you have another meal on top of that, and then you probably have a dessert, and then you eat again after, like a few hours after, or even less than a few hours after. So you have to understand and be honest with yourself that these things also count as eating food. So you can't have like a handful of M&Ms and say, I haven't eaten anything all day. That's something you've eaten. So it's the mind as well. You know, this is what I talk about the mind, and about this, you know, this is part of the practical little steps too, and what we tell ourselves. So be real, keep it real with yourself. You know, I'm very real with myself, and I'm very disciplined about this, because you know, I wasn't comfortable with how I used to look. I wasn't happy about it. I was very, you know, not insecure, but yeah, insecure actually. I was insecure. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna put it out there. I was insecure about how I looked, and I realized what those things did to me, because you're not fooling anyone but yourself. You have to remember that you're not fooling anyone but yourself. So whatever you eat, have your portion size. You have to have good portion size. Give yourself time so that you don't. For me, how it feels is like my belly's just expanding, and the moment you open your appetite that much, you crave even more. So as time goes on, I can't even if it's a small portion now, I can't finish a small portion. I'm very, very particular about the portion size I have, and if I want seconds, If it's really small and I want seconds, I would wait for like 20 to 30 minutes and see how I feel. And trust me, that feeling passes, because then what you eat starts to digest in your system and you don't feel like you have to go for seconds. And it's really good. So it's that discipline, and that's what I did. I will definitely insert some pictures of my before and after if you haven't seen on my thumbnail of what I used to look like and what I look like now. And I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna promise because I'm not a nutritionist. It's not a nutritionist channel. But the way I made the video of the 2 eggs and banana breakfast pancake, or whatever time of the day you want to have it, I'm gonna try and just like have a day. I'm gonna do a video of having a day with me of what I eat every day. Yes, I do have some things like cakes on occasions. Birthdays, I will have cake. I would have desserts on like just celebrations, which is not very often. So I would be very, very cautious. If I'm having one, that's fine. If I'm having a slice of cake, that's fine, because I love cake. Oh my God, if you know me, I love cakes. I would literally buy cake, you know, the small Sainsbury cake, and I would finish it. I have it with custard, I have it with cream. Oh my God, what was that? Anyway, it was amazing when it lasted. But now, obviously, and chocolates as well. Let me just put this in. Chocolates, I have the 85% cocoa chocolate. You can have any make. There's Tesco make, there's Lindt, there is from Lidl, there's from Marks and Spencer's. Just wherever I am, I always look on the shelves in the aisles, and I always get the 85%. There is 90 and 95%. I believe I've tried the 90, and oh my God, it was disgusting for me anyway. My taste buds are not mature enough, so I can't have the 90. So I just stick with 85, and I have 1 cube literally once a while. I don't have it every day per se. For fruits, I love bananas. The mango season, I have mango, not a lot, every now and then. Berries are really good as well for me. Did I say bananas already? Yeah, and tangerines, you know. So when I crave that, not so much apples, I'm not big on apples, so when I'm craving something sweet, I have a fruit. And like I said, 1 is need, 2 is greed. You have to be very cautious about your portion size. You have to be cautious of what you eat. You have to keep it real with yourself. If you've put something, if you've consumed something, you've actually had food to eat. Don't say I've had nothing to eat. So therefore, also it's the mind. The power to tell yourself no is very important as well. And that's what I had to do, because obviously we live in London and you are spoiled for choices with kind of food, delivery to your doorstep, everything. I had to tell myself no. And if I wanted to order something, I'll order Nando's and I'll have just the chicken. Sometimes KFC. I know KFC chicken is like, you know what, but like once a while, like once, and when I'm talking about a while, it could be probably like once in 2 months. I'm not big on that because I cook more at home than I do have takeaway. And if I crave things like Chinese, which is one thing that we all love as well, I would I have some spices that I use, Chinese spices. I have obviously the soy sauce, I have the oyster sauce, I have the seasoning. So I make myself some stir fry with quinoa, and I put some seafood in it sometimes, or some chicken in it, and I just make a stir fry, kind of like rice, if you call it that. So those are the kind of things I eat. You know, I talked about if I craved mac and cheese, which I shared with you. And if you want me to put down the recipes, not that if you want me to, I will put down the recipes in the description box below. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm not gonna go on. This video already is 32 minutes, 33 minutes right now as I'm speaking. So thank you for watching. I hope it's been insightful. I hope I gave as much information as you want to know. If you have any questions, please leave your questions in the comment section below. Continue to like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends and loved ones, guys. And please keep the subscription coming in. I will continue to bring you more exciting content on these videos, well, on this page or on this channel. And so just continue to follow me and stay tuned. So I think what I'm going to do one day is I'm going to actually try to make a day with me, what I eat in a day. That's probably when I'm off work and I have some time. I will show you what I eat, and I'll be very honest. Obviously, I'll have to edit the video, but I'll be very honest of what I have for breakfast, what I have in between. I rarely have things in between. I'll be very honest with you. I just keep it simple. Breakfast, have my drink, water, coffee now and then, not a lot. Teas as well, you know, any kind of tea, just like, you know, strawberry tea, especially now I'm having, there's no sweetness to it, it's just the tea on its own, lemon and honey sometimes, and water, and nothing. I don't nibble through the day and things like that. So you can spend your day with me and see what I eat, and if there is something I've forgotten, you'll probably see it on the next video. So guys, stay tuned and thank you for watching. See you again soon and have a lovely evening. Bye.